Hello everyone, this is Florian, and in today's video we will talk about Python's built-in all and any function. Let's start with the built-in any function. It accepts an iterable and evaluates to true if only a single element of it evaluates to true. A common use case is checking for multiple string patterns. Let's take an example. So let's create a Python script first and open it up in Visual Studio Code. And let's say we have a list which consists of multiple strings. So let's go with the string hello first, and then the string fire or something like that. Then we have hello world. Then let's go with XXX world, and let's say triple Z. All right, so what are the patterns that we are looking for? So there we go with hello and we go with world. So here each word represents a single string pattern that we want to search for. Last but not least, we also create an empty list and assign it to the variable matches. So the goal here is to find all strings inside of this list, LST over here, which match at least one of the two patterns. So we want a list of all strings which either contain hello or world or both. One way to solve this task is to iterate over each element in the list of strings and check whether one of the patterns matches by iterating over the list of patterns too. So first, iterate over each item in the list. So for item in LST, then iterate over each pattern. So for pattern in patterns. Oh yeah, and over here we need to call this one patterns so that it works. So for pattern in patterns, and then we say if pattern is in the item that we are currently having a look at, then we want to add this item to the list of matches. So matches.append item. And let's see whether everything worked out quite well. So print the list matches and then hit over to the terminal and execute the script. And as you can see, we selected hello, hello world, and XXX world. So as you can see, hello world appeared 2 times because as we iterated over the patterns twice, because first the pattern hello and second the pattern world, the string hello world was selected twice. So what is left here, we also need to remove the duplicates in order to get the actual result we are looking for, which means that over here in our if statement we would extend it. So if pattern is in item and the item is not in matches, only then it should be appended. So let's head over to the terminal and execute the script again. And as you can see now, we get the desired output with hello, hello world, and XXX world. While this approach works, it is not very pythonic and it's inefficient. Let's rewrite this example to use the built-in any function instead. So instead of using this giant for loop, we will remove that again and use a list comprehension instead. So what do we want to do? So first we want to add item to the list. What is item? So for item in LST, so we are iterating over the list LST, and at this point we are adding all items to the list matches, but we want to filter here some out. So we say if any of the patterns match, so this is for pattern in item. So if the pattern occurs in item, and what is a pattern? For pattern in patterns, then we want to add it to the list of matches. So what's happening here? So first we're iterating over all patterns in our list patterns, and then we check if the pattern is inside of this item, and we pass this expression over here to the built-in any function and say if any of these elements over here is true. Yeah, so if at any time the pattern occurs in item, then this evaluates to true and we add the item to the list of matches. So let's check that in the terminal. As you can see, as we're using the built-in any function, there's no need to also check whether it's already included in matches, as we're iterating only once over it. So we already achieved our desired goal, which is to get a list with hello, hello world and XXX world in it. At this point, we already have a decent understanding of how the any function works. Next, we will see how all differs from any. In contrast to the built-in any function, all returns true if all elements inside of an iterable evaluate to true. One thing you should keep in mind is that it evaluates to true if the iterable is empty as well. Alright, so let's rewrite the pattern matching example to include only strings which match all patterns, meaning hello and world. So in our use case over here, there should only be the hello world string included in the final list, as it is the only string which contains hello as well as world. So in everything we need to do is to simply go over here to line 6 and change any to all, because at this point it means we have this expression over here where we check whether each pattern occurs in item. In our case there are 2 patterns, and we say that all of this expression need to evaluate to true. So hello needs to occur in the string item as well as world needs to occur in the string item. If this is the case, then the item should be appended to the list matches. So let's head over to the terminal and execute the script. And as you can see, we end up with the list which only includes a single element, which is hello world. With that, I want to conclude this video. You learned how to use both the built-in all as well as any function. What's left is to be aware of them and try to use them whenever possible to add more meaning as well as efficiency to your code. Stay curious and keep coding.